right here in my utility belt.
One of the main reasons so many people love Android is that you're not chained down to a particular look and feel, and at any moment you can customize everything on your phone with almost complete freedom. Now cue all of the loyal iPhone users saying,
"But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?"
And it's because on Android you can. So in this video, I'm going to show you 10 easy ways to truly make your phone your own and fully customize your Android phone in 2024. And a little side note, everything in this video is Google Play Protect certified, so you're in safe hands. So here are some of the very best Android launchers to try in 2024. And my guess is when your friends and family see you rocking this custom UI, they'll probably want to know how you did that. And if they do ask, send them to this video. So this is how I'm going to do this video. I'm going to start with pretty good launchers, then some very good ones, and then what I consider to be the excellent launchers for the Android platform. So stick around. Let's spring into action with the Action Launcher Pixel Edition. There are a couple of reasons why they call this the Pixel Edition. First off, it does have a version of the At a Glance widget, and this will pop up with useful information throughout your day. It's linked to your Google Calendar, so it will pop up with your agenda, your to-do list, and upcoming events. And there's another similar feature here to Pixel phones, similar to the Material You color theming method that the Pixel uses. You can customize all of your system UI based on the colors of your background. All you do is dive into the system settings. Here you'll need to grant access to your wallpapers, and once you do, it will customize everything for you based on your background. But you can of course go in and manually create color schemes using the granular controls that this has if you want to. Something that I know a lot of people will appreciate about this particular launcher is the ability to stack widgets on top of each other, similar to what you see on iOS. And you'll also notice you can layer the widgets as well, so the clock is overlapping the widget underneath. Something else that's a true standout feature is the ability to have up to 12 apps docked on the bottom of your screen if you want to. And see the little search bar here at the bottom? I've added extra icons which are shortcuts to my settings, the Google Assistant, and you can even add more of these to that search bar if you want to. You also have the quick draw feature, so if you swipe in from the left side of the screen, you get an app tray which has all of your apps in alphabetical order. You also have the quick background feature if you swipe left. This is another page which you can customize to pretty much anything you want it to be. And then there's the shutter feature where you can swipe up on an app and bring up a widget of your choosing instead of just opening directly into the app, which you can still do just by tapping. There are also a ton of design and animation customization options available, and even more than you might think once you start diving a little deeper into the settings. So the Action Launcher, in my opinion, is excellent and certainly adds a little bit more pixel googliness to your Android device.
What you're going to need is googliness. Nothing funny.
If you've ever wanted to turn your entire operating system into a one-pager that resembles the Android notification shade, you can do it. But why, you might ask?
But why?
Well, this launcher is designed to provide as much information in one place as possible whilst attempting to keep things simple. The UI consists of rows of expandable widgets, which are primarily text-based. This aims to help you be less distracted when you pick up your phone. You can modify these widgets and reorganize them if you need to. There are a bunch of preset themes you can switch between, and you can even customize gestures and enable a shake gesture. And if you have a side-mounted fingerprint reader, that can also be utilized as an input gesture for the UI. But one of the standout features here, in my opinion, is the search button. Here you can search system-wide for apps, and if you go with the Premium Plus subscription, which is less than £1 a month, you can have ChatGPT baked into this search button, and if you really want to, you can map gestures onto this search button to open apps and shortcuts with a single swipe. So if you like the simplicity of the AIO launcher, but don't mind a little complexity in the settings menu, and you don't like notifications, but you do like the notification shade seen on Android devices, you're gonna love this. So test it out, and if you like it, I would recommend upgrading to the Premium Plus version because you get a few more settings and features to play around with. So if you want to change of pace from the same old app grid, pages, notifications, and distractions, the Niagra Launcher is designed to help you flow better when it comes to using your phone. The Niagra Launcher is like AIO in some ways, with everything being on one page. However, there are quite a few differences in the aesthetics and the overall design. You can select your favorite most essential apps and have them listed on the home screen. This list by default is sorted into the most used at the top. You can have a static list if you want and organize it yourself. And you can also customize the look of the apps here as well. Your app drawer is replaced with this waterfall A to Z search feature on the right hand side. It's pretty fluid and easy to use. And you can quickly view notifications and perform quick tasks within an app by swiping on an app to open a pop-up window. And you can customize all of this stuff as well. So if you really wanted to, you could actually edit the icon and the name of the app. For example, let's say X back to Twitter with a Twitter icon if you really can't get on board with the X name. Now, I am a big fan of the Niagra button. It is similar to the AIO launcher button, but here it's not enabled by default, and it probably should be. It can be super helpful as it can be mapped to open any app of your choosing, and it is a multi-function button. So a tap on this button can open your camera, for example, and a swipe on the button can open something else. I've got it set up to open the phone. And if you want to, you can create folders here on the home screen and shortcuts to specific settings or actions. And you can add widgets to the top of the screen like you see here. And one of the great things about this is you can actually stack up to 4 widgets at the top of the screen if you want to. And the default widget at the top here that comes with the Niagra Launcher is linked to your Google Calendar. So you can see your agenda, everything that you got coming up for the day, for the week, and things like that, right there at the top of the screen. Niagra also has tons of customization tweaks, great icon packs and wallpapers pre-installed, so you can really get creative without having to install third-party add-ons. If you like the look of this, I suggest you try out the Pro version for 7 days for free, because I don't want you guys throwing your money down the drain. So see if you like it first. If after the 7 days you like the flow and how Niagra streamlines your experience, then you can go
all in. 6 million.
It's not $6 million, it's actually £7.49 for the year, which is reasonable. You can also buy it one-off if you prefer. The prices may vary in different regions around the world, so there'll be a link to it below this video if you want to check out the latest price in your region. And if you're still not impressed, don't worry, it's all downhill from here. Wait a minute, I mean up. For anyone who's just made the switch from iPhone to Android and is struggling to get the hang of the Android operating system, this one is truly designed for you. The iLauncher OS aims to give you the Apple look and feel whilst giving you all of the freedom of Android. It's got over 5 million downloads on the Play Store, so you know they must be doing something right. Once installed, you get the same notification style, the same style control center, same style icons, and even the lock screen, and options for lock screen fonts and widgets are also available. And you can even create a dynamic island, which works in a similar way to the official Apple one. The great thing about this one is if your camera is centrally placed, you can have it at the center, but if it's located on the left or right side at the top of your screen, you can move the dynamic island around. And it's not quite as advanced as Apple's version of the dynamic island, but it does give you media controls and it will show some notifications. The UI does give you the option to hide apps, which essentially puts them into the app library as is known on iOS, which is located in the same place that you would find it on iOS, just past the last home screen. And it does come with the old Twitter icon by default, and even if they do update this in the future to X, if you want to, you can dive into the settings of any app and customize the image and name whenever you want. One thing that it doesn't have, which I wish it did have, is the widget stack options. But if you've never really used widget stacks in the first place, then you're not going to miss them. Now here's a disclaimer. My advice is if you like the look of this one, install the free version, but immediately pay the $289 for at least 1 month's usage of this launcher, because the free version has been designed to
Sell up to 80% of an individual's visual field before inducing seizures.
So if you do like it after the first month, get the full Pro version immediately. It costs around $14.99, and yes, that sounds like a lot of money, but think of it like this. You could use some of that money you saved from not buying an iPhone to buy this software. Okay, Hyperion, the Titan god of heavenly light and watchfulness. And it's also an excellent Android launcher. One downside to this particular launcher is that it doesn't give you much guidance once you first install it. And there are a ton of customizable options which are kind of left to figure out on your own. Something unique here on Hyperion Launcher is that you can download font files in TTF format and load up any font you like to this launcher. The font is an excellent place to find TTF files, and most of them are free. I do love how you can add more pages to the dock on this launcher, which could definitely be very useful. And if you want to expand the dock, you can go all the way up to 8 apps on one page. And of course, the app grids are massively expandable, and there's a decent amount of icon customization options available. And if you want to change any specific app icon into pretty much any image you want, just like you saw on the iLauncher, it is straightforward to do. There are also options to customize gestures and add 2-finger gestures to create some convenient shortcuts. For example, you could set up a 2-finger swipe down on the home screen to quickly access your control panel. This is similar to what you see on Samsung's One UI. And if you have any annoying apps that just won't let you uninstall them, you can easily hide them away from this launcher. And when you do that, it's almost like those pesky apps have been erased from existence. There's a bunch of other tweaks that you can make to the Hyperion launcher, such as changing the background of the search bar and the dock, having faded colors here on the app tray, and that's just to name a few. This really is a very nice, clean, uncomplicated launcher. And one thing I should mention, if you do want to change the fonts here on Hyperion, you do need the Pro version, but the Pro version is just £1.99 here in the UK, so it's well worth the money in my opinion. Okay, this next one is brilliant and definitely a favorite of mine. They call it the Smart Launcher 6, and it is one of the cleanest custom launchers so far in this video. It offers an incredible number of custom icon options preloaded into the launcher, so no third-party icon packs are needed here. You can have different style icons in the app page as from the ones in the app drawer if you want. The grid options are also fantastic, and you can go all the way up to 20 rows and 10 apps on each row. So this technically means you could have 200 apps on one page if you wanted. I'm not saying you should do that though, but the point is you can. And being able to have that much freedom, you can make more room for larger widgets on a single page. The page manager feature is an excellent addition, as you can manually map out what you want your up, down, left and right swipes to do from the home screen. And the smart search widget, which you'll find on the home screen, is also very handy. And the widget stack feature here is second to none, with you being able to seemingly stack unlimited amount of widgets on top of each other. And there's also some really nice preloaded app widgets which come with the Smart Launcher if you go Pro. Again, my advice is to test out the 7-day free trial and see if you like it. Fonts are customizable here, and there are a ton of fonts already preloaded in the Smart Launcher. I personally like this Vivo Sans EXP and the Barlow semi-condensed font for the smaller text. Something that's nice about this is you can set up a subtle 3D parallax effect for your wallpapers, and they've got so many great customization options here within the settings, and that's probably why they charge the annual fee of £10 here in the UK. But if you really like this one, and I think you will like it, you can buy it one off for £19.49. And right now at the time of this video, if you do want to try out Smart Launcher 6, you can actually join the beta testing, so as they start to bring out new features for it, you'll be the first to test them out. Okay, this is one of the most advanced launchers out there today. The Total Launcher gives you total control to create something incredibly unique. However, a certain level of skill and a lot of time is required to create something from scratch. But if you feel confident and you do have the time, this might be worth trying out, because you can be incredibly creative here and basically design your own UI from a blank canvas with the tools provided here. As you can see, I've got this futuristic sci-fi home screen with incredible animations and graphics. And as much as I'd like to tell you that I made this myself, I didn't. I can't really take credit for it. This is actually a skin that someone has probably worked tirelessly on for months and months, and I just downloaded it and installed it in 2 minutes. And just so that I can show you guys what is possible if you put your mind to it, and also what's possible even if you don't want to put your mind to it and just download a pre-made one. And there are really too many standout features here to mention. Just know this is the most advanced of all the launchers you're going to see in this list, and if you do choose to use it, you had better buckle your Android seatbelt, because
Kansas is going bye-bye.
But don't worry if you do test this one out and you feel it's a bit too advanced for you, you can always go back to your system's default launcher at any time just by diving into your settings and searching for the setting for your default home app. Okay, if you like that futuristic style you saw on the previous launcher, but you don't want all the hassle of having to create it and figure out how to use it, then the Alpha Hybrid Launcher might be a good option for you, as it offers something quite unique. The home screen consists of a speedometer style dial at the center with useful features around the circle. So when you swipe in from the left, you get a pinboard space for widgets and shortcuts which can be overlapped. So it's pretty cool. And a swipe from the right hand side of the screen brings up this really nice dial style of app drawer, which is alphabetically ordered, and you can literally just scroll through them up and down to find the app that you want. And there are so many customization options available, and even more if you go with the Pro option. And this actually brings me nicely onto one of the downsides of the Alpha Hybrid Launcher. Yes, you can use it for free, but the ads, there are no words to describe how annoying they are, and that clip explained it better than I ever could. So if you really want this launcher, you do have to part with around £3.50. It's the only way you can use it without developing a regular urge to buy some purple toothpaste from TikTok. And if you do go with the Pro, you have more customization options and more premium themes to choose from. You also get parallax wallpapers, the ability to change fonts and icon styles, and many more animation styles. And the reason I like this one is because it kind of looks complex and advanced, but actually it's pretty simple and unique. All right, now let's talk about HiOS. I believe it might be the most basic launcher on this list, and that might be the very reason why some of you might love it. And you'll also love the fact that it's entirely free with no ads or anything like that.
You're right.
And it offers a good selection of themes, which are also all free. It's a very clean UI, similar to the standard Android OS, but with quite a few free customization options. You can map gestures with single and double finger gestures being available, including the counterclockwise and anti-clockwise 2-finger dial gesture. Page transition effects can be customized as well. And when you create app folders on the home screen, when you click on the folder, you actually get access to all of the apps which have been categorized into folders of their own. Overall, it's a very basic but fast launcher that requires minimum effort, and I think it could be an excellent foundation for adding widget packs and icon packs on top of. So if you really hate the current software that you have, this could be a good way to just strip it back and keep it really nice and basic for you. I am considering making a best Android add-on pack video potentially, so let me know if you'd like to see that in the comments. Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
You'll love it.
No, I won't.
And let me tell you something you already know.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
So many people and companies are out there trying to separate you from your money. Those filthy animals, how dare they? And did I tell you about my new merchandise? Link in the description. I'm only joking, nobody has ever bought my merch, so I don't expect you to either. But if you want to send a super thanks, you're welcome to. I just need around $3.50.
I need about $3.50.
$3.50.
Anyway, the Ratio Launcher is designed to reduce the ratio of ads and distractions you see daily. It does this by neatly stacking apps into categories and eliminating the bright, distracting colors that might catch your eye and draw you in. A swipe left to right on the home screen gives you access to a page dedicated to adding in-app widgets and stock Android widgets too. And these, just like the categories on the home screen, can be collapsed down if not needed. A swipe left from the home screen brings you to the Conversation Beta page. So they are testing this feature out right now. It combines all of your messaging apps in one place and emails all in one place. And it even provides a search bar to search for the conversation that you're looking for at the bottom. It's also got a really nice app drawer with a search bar, which you can access from swiping up. And when you tap and hold on that search bar, it opens up a few more options. You'll see there is a light and dark mode for the Ratio Launcher, and even a dedicated focus mode. You can upload your own icon packs to this if you want to, or even use the system icons that are default on your phone. I am a fan of the wallpaper selection that they have here, and you can add some minor effects to these backgrounds as well. And there's quite a few more features that really help you focus, like setting usage goals, conversation focus hours, and auto replies. And the thing that I like the most about the Ratio Launcher is it doesn't water down the power of the device and the overall user experience. It just makes using your phone a bit more purposeful and intentional by hiding away all that stuff that could slow you down or strip you of your money whilst trying to get things done. And hey, did I show you this purple toothpaste that I just bought from TikTok? Now, iLauncher. This may be the most minimalist app of them all. If you're the type of person who wants your phone to be as simple as humanly possible, it really doesn't get much simpler than this. You can choose up to 8 apps to appear on your home screen, which appear as simple text. A swipe to the right will open your phone dialer screen. A swipe to the left will open your camera. A swipe upward from the bottom of the screen will bring up a searchable text-based app drawer. And there's really not a lot of customization tweaks here, but that's probably why some people will like this. However, you can have daily wallpapers, a light and dark mode. You can change text size. I do like this one, but I personally would like to add a couple of widgets and maybe the option to play around with a few more settings. And you can do that with the Pro version of the iLauncher. So if you do go for the Pro version, you will get the widgets page. You'll also get a notes page, which is kind of like the pin board that I showed you on some of the other launchers. And just be mindful of the price on this one. It is £9.99 for the year or $29.99 one-off for a lifetime subscription. Again, my advice to you is to test out the free version before jumping into the Pro and just see if you like it. And maybe this could be the perfect gift for someone who really struggles with their phone technology and just might benefit from the simplicity that the iLauncher brings to the table. Okay, now for something a bit more fun. This is Square Home, and this may bring back some good old memories from the Lumia days. And if you're a fan of that good old Square icon interface, you'll absolutely love Square Home. And it's not just all about the looks. Square Home has some fantastic customization options, fantastic animations and transitions. Everything here seems to be really well thought out. And this is unlike your usual side scroller Android interface. This scrolls vertically, and you can add apps and widgets into different size boxes and separate them out into categories. And this launcher offers a good amount of gesture inputs. There's also color customization options, blurry background effects, and several more within the settings here. Too many to talk about. And if you do want that side scrolling page, you can actually add a full page of apps like an app drawer to the right hand side of the home screen if you want to. Something I particularly like about this one is the notification bells that appear next to the apps when they do get notifications. It's just very different from what you're used to seeing on Android. Honestly, Square Home is much better than I thought it would be. It's genuinely very good, very different from every other launcher that's out there. So if you fancy using this full time, you should know it is £5.99 a year, and the prices may vary in different parts of the world. But the good news is that they're so confident in this launcher, they give you a 14-day free trial to see if you like it. So why not try it out?
Don't be a...
Now let's look at the Lynx Launcher. This might be the best value Android launcher out there. If you're looking for a clean and uncomplicated experience, the standard version will have some ads. The full version without ads and with added functionality such as 2-finger gestures and dark mode is just £2.49 for a one-off lifetime subscription. And in my opinion, it is well worth the money if you cannot stand your phone's default UI. It's quite simple really. A swipe right takes you to a page of your favorite apps based on the ones you use the most. A swipe left takes you to all your apps with a search bar at the top so you can find things very quickly. And unfortunately, one thing that could be better here is if it had stackable widgets. You can of course do this with a third-party app if you wanted. However, check this out. When you swipe up, you can have an entire page dedicated to widgets, similar to the widget pinboard that I showed you earlier on the Alpha Launcher. A swipe down on the home screen brings you to a search bar. And one really nice feature that Lynx Launcher brings to the table is the side dock. It can be resized, repositioned. You can even swap what side is on. And within the side dock, you can stack apps on top of each other and expand these in little folders from the edge when needed. It is a simple launcher. Animations are smooth and seamless. It's easy to use. It's got some good presets already loaded into it. So if you can't be bothered to manually go into the settings and customize everything yourself, you can just use those presets and really change it up with minimum effort. It really is quite simple, really.
The rest is quite simple, really.
It is effective and is stable, and it's regularly updated by the developers. Okay, I didn't think I was going to say this, but the Microsoft Launcher is one of my favorites out there at the moment. It feels the most premium, and that's probably because Microsoft have enough money to buy a country if they wanted to. It's so well designed and fluid, and it gives you features like being able to have a double or even triple row dock at the bottom of your screen, which can be expanded at any time. I haven't seen this on any other launcher. And as you probably know, Microsoft now owns OpenAI, so why wouldn't they include ChatGPT 4 into their launcher? And it's right there built into the search bar, which makes it an incredibly powerful tool. And you could even use it to do your homework for you without ever having to lift a finger. And yes, the search bar is set to Bing by default because Bing is Microsoft. But good news here, if you prefer Google, you can actually change the search bar to Google at any time. Something else that makes me love this launcher is the fantastic wallpaper app that you'll find on the home screen when you first boot it up. Just by tapping it, it will switch the background, and it's actually good. You can hide all of the bloatware that cannot be uninstalled. Gesture inputs are fully mappable with 2-finger gestures also available, and there's also an interesting double tap and swipe gesture here. The app icon customization options are pretty good as well. Not quite as advanced as the next launcher I'm about to show you on this list, but you can make quite a few changes without having to use third-party apps, so that's good. One really nice feature is the ability to add swipe actions to the app icons to perform different shortcuts. We've seen this on some other launchers, but it just seems to work really nicely here. And something else that I really like about the way this launcher works is you can actually place apps and widgets on the sub-grid. So they don't have to be precisely in those boxes. They can be offset a little bit. And I think this will help make your home screen look a bit more unique and allow you to fit widgets onto the screen that you might not always be able to. I personally love this Microsoft Launcher because it's fast, it's smooth, it feels premium. I think it is the most luxurious of them all, if you could use such a word for a launcher. But the greatest thing here, in my opinion, is it's free. And that's another reason why it's a favorite of mine. Okay, so if you're well versed at phone customization and you consider yourself a bit of an expert, you probably already saw this one coming. It is the Nova Launcher. It is one of the most popular and most downloaded launchers ever, with over 50 million downloads, which is incredible. And it's easy to see why. I'm not going to go too much in depth with this one because it is pretty advanced. The Pro version is just $3.99 and it's worth every penny. It has almost everything you could want from a launcher. It doesn't give you quite as much freedom as Total Launcher with the ability to build something from scratch.
I don't know, man. That sounds like a lot of work.
But let's be real, not many people will be prepared to do that. And this just has enough customization that I think everyone will like it. And they've designed it in such a way that there's much less chance of you messing things up on your phone. So the home screen is fully customizable and can offer a grid space of up to 12 by 12 icons. You can do the sub-grid positioning just like I showed you on the Microsoft Launcher. You can also allow widgets to overlap like you saw on some of the other launchers in this video, which means you can maximize that space even if the widgets don't quite fit into the standard spacing. All the navigation gestures are available and customizable. All apps can be easily renamed and icons change, similar to the Microsoft Launcher, but the icon customization options are significantly better here, with the option to change the icon shapes and then further customize those shapes by adjusting the corners to something else completely different. And like the Microsoft Launcher, you can also allow swipe up gestures on app icons to launch quick shortcuts or other apps. But it does take it a bit further because you can actually have the swipe down shortcut as well. So you can actually have 4 actions per icon with Nova Launcher: the swipe up, swipe down, the tap, and then the tap and hold. And there are granular controls for pretty much everything from screen transitions, app animations, colors, shadows. And the Nova Launcher might appear to be quite complex, but it actually is very easy to operate. It's kind of the perfect balance between advanced customization and ease of use.
Pretty, isn't it? Perfectly balanced. as all things should be.
And that's probably why it's one of the most popular launchers on the planet today. And if you're already familiar with Nova Launcher, you'll know that I've skimmed over so many of his features, and that's because there are literally too many. Now, before you go, there's one more launcher that you should try if it's compatible with your device. It has over 1 billion downloads, which is even more than the Nova Launcher. You might have heard of it. It's called the Samsung One UI Home. Now, if you're rocking a Samsung Galaxy device, of course you've heard of it. You've already got a version of it on your phone by default. But if you're on another Android device, did you know that you could actually try it out? And the reason I ask is because I only just found out about it recently myself. So it's certainly worth trying out. And if you do have a Galaxy phone or you do want to try the One UI Home Launcher, you should definitely check out my Samsung customization guides, which are on screen right now. They could be quite eye-opening for you because there's some incredible customization and hidden features on Samsung devices and on the One UI that not many people know about. And on that note, it's time to get out of here.
Let's go. But inconspicuously. Through the window.